た。五反田から目黒を越えて恵比寿までポスティングですね。まあ招待券はもう大崎の近くで全部ポスティングしてきました。もう招待券、去年みたいな、去年もここの展示会行って招待券4000万ぐらいポスティングしたんですけど、今年は招待券はポスティングあんまりしてないです。まあしようと思ったんですけどね、元気がなかった。まあ資料を読んで研究にして全部資料をポスティングしました。もう最近全部出してるんですよ。出すと次の日行けるんですよ、なんか知らないけど。だから昨日と同じ。
Today is that from the sudden tribulation from this astrocyte, we can form these spheres, and these spheres can in turn give rise to the three lineages, neurons, oligodendrocytes, and astrocytes that you can actually see right here. What we do know today is that if we obtain tissue from the athletic growth of one patient, and we can grow one single cell into a sphere, and that sphere can ultimately go back into the animal, those tumors resemble the tumor that the patient originally had. So potentially giving us an opportunity to have a much better model to study brain cancer. And that's exactly what we have done in our collaboration, some of our work. And I'll go over a couple of these studies. For instance, this is a paper that we just published not too long ago, actually in 2009, and we will look at the delta-9 like epidermal growth factor related receptor. These are tumors that were derived from glioblastoma multiforme neurosphere. And as you can see right here, this is the tumor with no treatment. This is the tumor with treatment. In this case right here, this is the tumor volume, which you can actually see right here. These are the two different groups, and you can actually see significant differences. Once again, illustrating the principle that we can dream of manipulating the system, and very systematically begin to understand what are the growth factors, receptors that have an influence on this tumor formation. I take you to another study that we have done, that is the Kruppel-like family of transcription factor 9, a differentiation associated transcription factor, suppresses NASH1 signaling and inhibits glioblastoma initiating stem cells. This is the actual image right here. This is the control. You can see the massive tumor, similar to the tumor of the patient. And when we treat these tumors,
昨日は高田馬場で16冊ぐらい買って、洋書、まあ普通の洋書16冊、それでメトロポリタンホテルのロビーで見て全部出してきましたけど、1600円でした。これで英語の勉強になったっていう。それで英語
reprogramming network and support the glioblastoma stem like phenotype. And you can actually see the control, very large tumor, and those treated right here, giving us the tumor area, the difference between these two right here, once again, for the first time, giving us the ability to manipulate the system. I think now, to the studies that not only our group, but other groups around the world are doing on these spheres, on these tumors here, and when they're put back on the animals, those tumors look like a different tumor, we will be able to unravel the mysteries, the signaling, the characteristics that these tumors have, and one day we will be able to produce new therapeutics that will have an effect in our patients. So, I conclude by telling you that there is adult neurogenesis in the mammalian brain. There's a stem cell niche, specifically the southern tricular zone, which is different between the human and the rodent mammalian brain. And that's actually a very important difference because throughout decades, we have continued to study formation of tumors in the rodent brain, formation of rodent tumors in the rodent brain. And I think that is still a necessity to do so, to continue to unravel some of the common mechanisms that the rodent brain have in the human brain. But I do also think that it's very, very important that we continue to do human tissue or human tissue research, and that is because there are striking differences between the human and the rodent, and we have to try to understand from both simultaneously. They do exist. Stem cells do exist in the human brain. We know that. We have done that ourselves. Other groups, they exist in the centrifugal so now recent epiphyses, they exist in the hippocampus, and that is something very, very important to consider for us to understand and to use this capability for future regenerative medicine. Stem cells also do exist in human cancer, and we're beginning to unravel the mysteries and the ways to manipulate this system presently. Whether neural stem cells give rise to tumor is still not known. I think this is a working hypothesis. What is known is of a population of cells within tumors that behave like stem cells, and this is actually very, very important for us to be able to understand not only the etiology, but the potential progression of brain cancer. I think that the future is bright, and we will continue with the quest to find the etiology of brain tumors, so potentially one day we will be able to find better ways to treat our patients. I thank you very much. I thank all the people that have supported our work, like you, the NIH, the Howard Hughes, the state, the Maryland State Stem Cell Research Fund. And most importantly, I thank my group, this group of scientists that have allowed me to learn from them and allowed me to teach them a little bit of what I know. And together, we'll find the time hope for our patients. Most people down the world, every day I work not only as a brain surgeon, giving my patients hope in the operating room, but hopefully giving them hope also outside of the operating room. Thank you very much. I'm an associate professor of neurosurgery, oncology, cellular molecular medicine, and neuroscience at Johns Hopkins University Medical School. I am delighted and honored to talk to you about brain tumors today. I will be talking to you about the history of brain tumors, types of brain tumors that one may encounter when dealing with this disease, the treatment mainly of the non-cancer brain tumors with a special focus on the cancer brain tumors, the possible etiology of some of these tumors, as well as the future research that my group, as well as other groups around the world, are conducting on this disease. Let me take you to the history of brain surgery. It turns out that it was not too long ago, a little bit over 100 years ago, brain surgery was the unexplored frontier. At Johns Hopkins University, a young surgeon by the name of Harvey Cushing was one of the pioneers of not only understanding the brain from the inside by doing brain surgery, but also developing new techniques to be able to do things that now, at present times, we take for granted. This was the image of one of his own illustrations that he did as he was coming out of the operating room. And as you can see, he was mapping all the way from the leg, the arm, the neck, the face, the head, the tongue, eyes, speech, eye, hearing here at the bottom, and vision in this area. An incredible amount of work that it took for him to do this in 1903 at the Johns Hopkins Hospital. This was the beginning of brain surgery. By the 1930s, Dr. Penfield out of Canada, who was also the type of Harvey Cushing, was able to produce the so-called homunculus, which is what we now learn during our education. This is the overall mapping of the cortex of the brain. This is what allows us to sometimes find corridors and ways to going into the brain without hurting the normal function of the brain. It was thanks to these pioneers early on that we are now able to take some of the most challenging brain cancers and brain tumors that are known to humans. This is a picture of an extra-axial tumor. That means not from the brain. Some people may even call these tumors benign in nature. Why? Because they're not truly invading the brain. But I would dare someone, and I would challenge anybody to call this gigantic tumor benign. It doesn't matter if it doesn't penetrate the brain. But just the fact that this tumor is so large and is putting so much pressure in normal parts of the brain that makes their surgery challenging. Yet, we can still achieve cure in some of these tumors if they are the non-cancerous side. This is an illustration that you can actually see right here, seen from the top of such a tumor. This is a so-called focal temporal meningioma, giant in nature. And as you can see, we have to take into account not only the anatomy of the tumor, which is seen right here, but also the anatomy of some of the blood vessels that are extremely crucial for us to preserve and not injure the patient. Some of these procedures are challenging. Some of them can go on for 20, 24 hours, multiple teams working together. Yet, some of these challenging tumors, if they are the non-cancerous side, they can still be cured with surgery, especially at centers that is specialized with a large volume of cases on the treatment of this disease. This is the postoperative scan of this particular patient that I gave with some of my colleagues a number of years ago. And as you can see, we were able to successfully remove this gigantic tumor that it was in the back of the head of this patient that was having severe symptoms. I'd like to illustrate to you one particular case presentation. This is a young woman that I saw a couple of years ago. A 38-year-old, previously healthy woman presented to the emergency department with severe headaches. He was also experiencing diminished smell and taste over the course of the last year. Her personality, as you can see, was of a flat affect and decreased smell. So she was clearly having some symptoms from what was found to be a very large brain tumor in the anterior cranial fossa. As soon as I saw those images at that time, I imagined that this was going to be a challenging procedure. I thought, in my differential diagnosis, that this patient was going to be a tumor that did not come from the brain, the so-called extra-axial tumor. And at the top of my differential was a meningioma, based not only on the MRI, you can actually see in the axial cuts. These are cuts that are going like this through the brain. You can actually see the anterior cranial fossa. These are multiple different cuts. In this corner right here, you can actually have a little bit of the idea of the eye sockets. So we're cutting right above the eye sockets, and then we come below, right here, and you can see all this white stuff. That's all the swelling in the brain. So this tumor is giant in nature, and it's putting so much pressure on the brain that the brain is swollen. So I had the idea that this was going to be a non-cancerous tumor, but one that was going to be challenging to take out. So we took this patient to the operating room. We did an incision from ear to ear because the tumor was quite challenging. We pulled the skin forward, as you can actually see in this illustration right here. We took out the bone, that's the frontal bone, this portion of the bone, which is this right here. Then we took out the bone right above the eyes, this rim of bone right here, in order for us to be able to come straight down into this region, into the brain, without putting any retraction on the brain whatsoever. And this is a picture, an illustration, just like you see it right here. The skin is pulled forward. We're coming right at the base of the skull in order to minimize the retraction of the brain. Ideally, you want to put no retraction of the brain whatsoever, so you want to preserve as much function of the brain as possible. So this tumor was coming right here. I this patient once again, this was a non-cancerous tumor that we could potentially cure. We were able to achieve a cure on this patient. Years later, we have followed her, and her personality has come back to normal. All function, unfortunately, was gone because all the olfactory nerves that were in this area were invaded by this tumor. That was not cancerous in nature, but nonetheless, there was something so damaged that there was no possible way to dissect them away. So we were able to achieve a cure on this tumor, and the final pathology ended up being a meningioma. Let me show you another tumor that is thought to be not cancerous in nature. This is what we call a pituitary giant adenoma. Pituitary adenomas are not thought to be cancerous because they don't invade the brain. But I would also dare anybody to tell me that this is not a dangerous tumor. So you can see it's almost the size of a tennis ball that is growing right at the base of the skull up into the brain, and it's putting a fair amount of pressure. Up here is the corpus callosum. You can actually see the vessels completely pushed upwards in this area. You can actually see right here on the bottom the brain completely pushed laterally like this. A very, very challenging tumor to take out. We have our own institution at Johns Hopkins and other parts of the world. People have tried to do this surgery. Surgery for brain tumors that are not cancerous, much more minimally invasive. At our institution, we have devised ways to be able to take these tumors, sometimes, depending on the size, even through the eye. This is a picture of an eyebrow, and you can actually see the eye right here where we took the tumor. Some tumors through this approach right here. This is a view as we're going right through the brain, right here, moving the brain away, getting right under the skull, because the challenge is obviously to get right under the brain, get into that area, and extract these tumors. Another way of taking these tumors out is by doing it transsphenoidally. This is a picture of a young child we have actually developed some of these techniques and perfected some of these techniques. Our own institution going to one nostril, as you can see right here, to be able to take this tumor out right here, using maneuvers in the operating room, sometimes using the own fat of the patient to be able to reconstruct the base of the brain, as you can see right here, and to be able to achieve a cure in these not cancerous tumors. So once again, we can achieve a cure in tumors that are not cancerous, not all the time, but the majority of the time, if we do the appropriate approach, the appropriate surgery, and if a multidisciplinary team is involved. Some of these tumors require a combination between a brain surgeon and an ENT surgeon or a plastic surgeon, depending on the approach. I always encourage my patients to not only seek a second opinion and go to major tertiary care centers that are specialized and do a large volume of these procedures, because I think it's very important to have a good understanding of the anatomy and plenty of experience in doing these approaches. But what about those tumors that are considered to be cancerous? One type of tumor that is increasingly being more heard about in the media because of people like Senator Kennedy that was afflicted by a glial tumor, also known as a glioblastoma. These are the so-called intraaxial tumors. We have, within the intraaxial tumors, we have the low-grade gliomas, we have the high-grade gliomas. Within the low-grade gliomas, we have the juvenile pilocytic astrocytomas, the so-called JPAs. We have the astrocytomas and the oligodendrogliomas. They're all in the family of cancers, alright? But the low-grades tend to have a much better prognosis than the high-grades. That is, those patients that have a low-grade glioma tend to survive much longer. Versus those patients that have a high-grade glioma, the most devastating being the glioblastoma multiforme. Now, I tell you something. I believe the glioblastoma multiforme is the most devastating cancer that affects the most beautiful organ in the brain, in the body, which is the brain. One of the challenges that we face is that by the time that these tumors get diagnosed, specifically the glioblastoma multiforme, the GBM, most of the cells that we can take out with surgery are visible in MRIs, and sometimes they're visible in surgery. So we can achieve a very good resection of these tumors where we can see. The problem is, as we look back in history, a lot of the cells that are malignant have already migrated away from the brain. And if you look at how the studies that have been done, up until the contralateral side of the brain, one can actually find cells that have already migrated, and that's one of the reasons why we can't achieve a cure with brain surgery for this cancer. And this is an important distinction to make between those tumors that some people may call benign, like the meningiomas or the pituitary adenomas, versus these tumors that are considered to be malignant and invasive. This is true cancer. Cells have actually moved away from this region. This is a picture of the necessity that one has to be able to help patients and sometimes to achieve the best possible resection during surgery. This is a patient that had a tumor before and underwent a subtotal resection. This is a tumor that had a tumor before and after and had a near total resection. This is a tumor that had a patient that had a tumor before and after and achieved a gross total resection in a low-grade astrocytoma. Once again, it's still in the family of cancer, but this is the low-grade type. When we look at the overall survival of these patients, this is a Kaplan-Meier. In this axis, we have the percent survival. In this axis, we have the months. Then you have gross total resection, GTR, as seen right here. Then you have near total resection, NTR. And then you have subtotal resection, STR. So it's clear that the more tumor we can take out in our patients, the better those patients will do after surgery. And that is an important distinction to make. That's why these patients need to be seen, in my opinion, by people that have a fair amount of experience taking these tumors out. What about the perspective of the glioblastoma multiforme? I told you already, within the brain tumors is in a spectrum. The low grades to the high grades. The low grades being tumors like the oligodendroglioma, the astrocytoma juvenile pilocytic, or the low-grade astrocytoma, versus those tumors that are high grade, like the anaplastic astrocytoma, or the most devastating, the glioblastoma multiforme. In 1978, the median survival for these patients was about 10 months. That means many patients survive less than 10 months, and some patients survive more than 10 months. By the 1990s and the 2000s, most people began to do much more aggressive, not only resection, but to treat these patients with chemotherapy and radiation, and Roger Stube in the New England Journal of Medicine published this paper. After gross and the best surgical resection that one can do, followed by radiation and chemotherapy, the median survival went from about 10 months to 14.6 months. Now, some of you guys may think that that's not a lot, but it's about a 50% increment in survival of these patients. And this is something that one has to take into consideration if one day we are going to be able to make a difference. We can't give up on this disease, which is the so-called glioblastoma multiforme. This is an MRI of a patient that has a glioblastoma multiforme. What you see right here is what I can possibly take out in the operating room. Now, this is a tumor that is in the dominant hemisphere of this patient. This is an axial cut, and this is a coronal cut. Now, we have being able to confuse many people because we actually flip the images. In this case, this is the right side of the patient, even though it may look to you like the left side, and this is the left side of the patient. Once again, this is the right side of the patient, this is the left side of the patient. Right there, the images are flipped. In this case, this patient has a tumor in the dominant hemisphere. And I will take you a little bit as to how we best do this surgery. Before the surgery, most of us use what is called a navigation system. And the best way that I can explain this is that we take an image of your brain before the surgery with very high definition magnetic resonance imaging, MRI, and we bring those images into the operating room, and we use something that is similar to a GPS that you use in your car. So that means that when we're pointing into your brain, we have a better idea as to where you or I are in reference to a pathology. I know where I am, and I'm using pointers, little pointers, to make sure that I am in parts of the brain where I'm going to be able to take these lesions out. And in this case, it may not be perfect, but it's one of the closest things that we have to be able to have a better idea of how we are going to navigate. It's not perfect because, as you can imagine, once you open the brain, things shift a little bit. So now you're dealing with shift of the brain and an image that was done before we had opened the brain. Nonetheless, this is a very good start to be able to navigate the brain and to achieve, ideally, a much better resection of these tumors. Now, what do these tumors look like? So I'm going to take you now into the operating room, and I'll show you this surgery. This is a young patient in which I am taking a tumor near the motor cortex. I have been able to map the arm in this area and the forearm, and this, as you can see, is the tumor that we're taking out. I am working inside of the tumor between a very large blood vessel, a vein that I am trying to preserve. And what I'm doing right here is using a small device that is called a bipolar and a suction right here, and I'm getting towards the edge of the tumor, and I am making sure that I am resecting as much tumor as possible without compromising the normal function of this patient. We are working on the right side of the brain in this case, so it's not the left side. Otherwise, sometimes we would have to do these patients awake if the tumor is near the elephant's parts of the brain. So we're working on the right side of the brain. I introduce a small piece of cotton ball to be able to just control the hemostasis. Sometimes there's the blood. Sometimes I try not to use this device too much because it actually coagulates the small blood vessels. And right now, I am getting right under the vein right here, and as you can see, there's still a little bit of tumor left right here. I'm towards the end of resecting this tumor. This tumor ended up being an intermediate grade tumor, and we gave the patient a gross total resection, and this surgery took place over 3 years ago, and the patient has done very, very well. So this is the resection. I have taken you into the operating room. This is the post-operative image of this patient that I showed you after doing a gross total resection of this tumor. As you can imagine, this patient, if the surgery is properly done, if we map this brain well, we can achieve very good resection. This patient can do very well. This is an estimated Kaplan-Meier blood survival of patients with grade 3 astrocytoma. Remember, grade 1 to grade 4. Grade 1 and grade 2 being the low-grade gliomas, grade 3 and grade 4 being the high-grade gliomas, and the grade 4 being the glioblastoma multiforme. Here, you have gross total resection, near total resection, and subtotal resection. Gross total and near total are significantly different than the subtotal resection. This, as you can see, is the percent survival, and these are the months that the patient survives. So the more tumor you can take out, the better these patients will do. And that is a very, very important difference. Sometimes you can achieve very good resection if you not only understand anatomy, but if you also use the state-of-the-art technology, mapping techniques, and other adjuncts, technical adjuncts that you can use in the operating room. This is the extent role that extended resection has in survival after the resection of the malignant astrocytomas right here. This is being the grade 4 astrocytoma. And this is after primary resection, and you can actually see gross total resection being the top curve, then there is near total resection being the middle curve, and then there is subtotal resection being the lower curve in this case. This is the percent survival in this axis, and these are the months. So the more you can take out also in this grade 4, the so-called glioblastoma multiforme, the better those patients will do. It's not only important the first surgery, which is the primary resection, as you can actually see right here. This is the first surgery. But why do you have to go a second time? The second surgery, the so-called revision surgery, is also important. Gross total resection right here again, percent survival in this axis, months in this axis, and you can see that the more you can take out, the better these patients will do, the more they survive. So the extent of resection is important, not only the first time of surgery, but also the second time of surgery. So what happens if maximal surgical resection is the goal? Then what is the effect on survival for patients with malignant gliomas who acquire surgical-induced neurological damage? It makes no sense if you can take everything out, but if you leave the patient completely devastated and hemiplegic, then it may actually work against you. And we can look in our own work, in a lot of the data that I show you is based on our own work at Johns Hopkins, that this is actually true. This is the Kaplan-Meier, once again, the association of surgically acquired deficits and survival. This is after primary resection of a glioblastoma multiforme. In the black line right here, we have no new postoperative deficits. In the blue line, as you can see right here, we have new postoperative motor deficits.